going on, guys? So Doctor Who is finally back, and if, for those of you who don't know, because I talk about a lot of shows on this channel, Doctor Who is my favorite show of all time. Do you just have one of those shows that you can watch over and over and over and it never ever gets boring? Doctor Who is that for me. I'm talking about the newer Doctor Who. I haven't had the pleasure of going back and watching all of the old stuff. I've watched some of it, not all of it, but the newer stuff that's been around since 2005 has been my shit. I've watched every season at least 3 times. The Matt Smith ones I've probably watched like 7 times. David Tennant like 5, which is very funny because I've watched David Tennant's my favorite Doctor. But I don't know why. Karen Gillan, I just love her, so I've watched Matt Smith stuff way more, and Matt Smith has grown on me a lot. I liked him from the start, but now I really like his character so much. His Doctor was amazing too. But man, it's just so good to finally have Doctor Who back after a whole year of him not being around, except for the Christmas special. That's something they do every year. But not having a season of Doctor Who sucked. And now with this season, I expect it to be jam-packed because it is going to be... There's a lot of new things happening in this season. One, this will be Peter Capaldi's last season as the Doctor, meaning we will have a new Doctor at the end of the season. I believe we'll get them at the Christmas special, or there's rumors that we might actually get him earlier than that. And there's other rumors that it might actually not even be a him. On top of that, this is Stephen Moffat's last season as showrunner, and I mean, obviously Stephen Moffat's the one that got me into this show because somebody told me to watch somebody told me to watch the Weeping Angels episode of Doctor Who, and I think I just saw clips of it, and I was like, let me just watch the whole season from the start of it. And I just fell in love with that, and that was one of Moffat's freaking things, and then he became showrunner. And I don't know, like Moffat, I thought Moffat has been an amazing showrunner. Some people are wishy-washy on him, but this is going to be his final season. And I think when somebody's always going out with when somebody's always about to leave something they've been doing for a really long time, I feel like their best work can come at the end. So I'm expecting some really awesome episodes and a really awesome storyline for this season. I would say that Moffat's probably going to do everything he's ever wanted to do in this final season, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna write some more episodes of Doctor Who after this. I just don't see him going away forever. Also, we got a new companion in Bill, and I don't know how you guys feel about her, but I love her. She is super awesome. From the new era of Doctor Who, and probably, I doubt the old era had it either, but this is the first companion that is a lesbian, if I'm not mistaken. Rose liked the Doctor, Donna didn't like the Rose, but she was straight. Martha liked the Doctor, ended up marrying Martha ended up marrying Mickey. From there, we went to Amelia and Rory, which they were together the whole time, and then we got Clara, and I think that's been all of the companions, and all of them have been straight. Clara was, she was infatuated with, freaking the Doctor at that time, and then, she got into what's-his-face. That was the one guy I didn't really like. I forgot who she dated in her second to final season. I don't remember that guy's name. Anyways, this is the first lesbian companion that I can recall on this show, and I think that's pretty awesome because now we don't have to worry about her being like, oh, the Doctor, I love him, blah, blah, unless they want to do an episode where, like, everything flips around and shit. I don't really know, and then she'd be like, oh, I'm into the Doctor, and he'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? But I don't know. Either way, I really liked her character. She was really, like, upbeat and stuff. She seems very curious and asks a lot of questions. I like that because that's going to make the Doctor think about stuff. She's totally into sci-fi, and which is hilarious because she's all like, I don't know if you know much about sci-fi, and he's all like, bitch. So my first impressions of Bill are awesome. I really enjoyed her, and I can't wait to see what else is going to happen with her throughout this season and what she's going to do with the next Doctor, because usually companions stick around for 2 to 3 seasons. Before I talk about that, let's just go ahead and talk about the episode. I enjoyed the episode. I want to say that as I was watching it, I was just trying to figure out stuff, because you know how Doctor Who always plans out stuff in ahead, and there's always things tied to every episode. Like, just anything he did, like, Bill was asking questions, she was like, oh yeah, I never saw my mother, and like, there was very little pictures, but do pictures really help? And, she was asking all these questions. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, so what's going to happen here? Like, are they going to have to deal with pictures? Like, I just constantly kept asking myself I'm trying to figure out the mystery of Doctor Who in the first damn episode. But one thing we learned from this episode is the Doctor hasn't been flying around the galaxy, or at least he has been, but he hasn't been doing it with the companion anymore, because after Clara and after losing River, like, he just hasn't done that anymore. And, you know, that's where enter Bill. If you guys didn't notice that first opening shot that they were showing of where the Doctor's desk was, like his whole freaking study and whatnot, his office, I should say, at the university, there was a photo of River. Obviously, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys noticed. If you didn't know who that other girl was on his desk, I believe that was his daughter or granddaughter. I want to say it was his daughter from the very first Doctor. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say I saw some of the first season ever, and that girl was in it. So I want to say that that was River and his daughter or granddaughter. I can't remember how it was, because he was an older Doctor in back in the day episodes. Also, his cup where pens would be were a bunch of different sonic screwdrivers from other Doctors of the past. Another thing I really liked about this episode, and what I think is going to happen throughout this whole season, is we're going to have dual companions. And I, for one, am a fan of dual companions more than it just being the Doctor and one, you know, character. My thing is, I like when there's more people. So I think that's really why I like Matt Smith, because it happened with him, Rory, and Amelia Pond. When it was freaking Tennant, I loved when it was Tennant, Rose, and the Captain Jack. Like, I love that. I don't know, I just love the whole trio thing, and that's what we're going to have this season, which I think is really awesome. And I have a feeling, I just think it's going to add up to some interesting things, and I just can't wait to see more of this season. And that brings us to our next thing, is what the hell is in that box that is under the school. Now, like I said, in Doctor Who, if you guys have not watched it, there's always a big scheme. There's always something happening at the end of the season, and there's all these little clues throughout the freaking season. And that's why my whole brain was already trying to figure out what it could possibly be later. But there is this box that the Doctor doesn't want anybody to know about under the university. And I don't know if he's able to get into it, or he's trying to figure it out, or he's just trying to protect it at this moment. I got the sense that he was actually trying to figure it out, and that he wanted to keep it away from anybody else that was trying to, I guess, get a hold of it until he can figure it out. I don't know. That's how I felt about it. Unless he knows what's in there, it'll be really interesting to see what's going on. And that brings me to what I was thinking about during this whole episode, because the one thing I noticed he talked about a lot, which, I mean, of course, he always talks about it, but he was talking about pictures, and how, like, a picture just together is just a moment in time, but if you play a bunch of them together, that's what it is. He made a reference to movies not actually being... He talked about how movies don't really move, it's just a series of shot moments. It's just a bunch of still frames next to each other, and that's how he was, like, kind of referencing to how time is. It's like in a picture, which we saw that he had the pictures of River. Freaking Bill was talking about if pictures really matter. So there's this whole little, like, underline, like, why are you talking about pictures so much in this first episode? He was talking about how time equals life, you know, TARDIS, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, I was trying to put those together, but I'm feeling like maybe the idea of just still moments in time, maybe it has something to do with that box. You know, you never know. Maybe that box is kind of like a time machine that you're able to just go and pick out moments of time or something like that. Kind of like the TARDIS. Like, the TARDIS can take you to any part in time and space, but what if this box or whatever it was actually lets you change moments in time? Ooh, without actually having to go there. That'd be kind of crazy, and it would be interesting to see somebody try to go after that. We do know Missy's still a thing, and I believe there's screenshots or something like that out there of the Master, which that would have to be the past Master, because we know that Missy is technically the Master, just changed into lady form. That's something we'll figure out throughout the rest of the season. As for the rest of this episode, I kind of like the villain. I mean, it was just your very Doctor Who type of villain. It was cool that that damn water puddle can travel throughout time. And another underlining thing that they were talking about, or just that was felt in this episode, was that idea of companionship. And that made sense, because a lot of episodes, much like any series out there, the episodes usually have like an underlying meaning, and I think this episode was the idea of companionship and always being there, like, and trying to keep your promises and stuff like that, you know? And we saw that at the end when the doctor actually picked Bill, like, oh, you know, screw it, let's go ahead and go. You know, he talks to the two photos and the TARDIS, and he's like, what are you doing? I said I wouldn't do that anymore. And this monster was just following the Doctor and Bill everywhere because it kept a promise to Bill not to go anywhere. So I thought that was kind of cool, having this underlying message of companionship in the show because, you know, the Doctor got a new companion. So it totally made sense, and I like that. But I want to talk about two of my favorite things that happened in this episode. One was the Doctor run. When freaking Bill was talking to the Doctor in his office about, you know, he was talking about the girl and how, like, she just disappeared or whatever, and it's like she vanished. And the Doctor is just gone out of his seat, and he's running out the window, and you hear the damn Doctor music, and freaking somebody yelling, "Doctor!" Like, that is the most classic Doctor Who thing ever, and I just love it. Like, the Doctor always runs. Run, clever boy. It's actually run, you clever boy, but you know what I mean. Like, I freaking love every time the Doctor runs. And it's because he's running to the danger. Sometimes he runs away from it, but he's just always running, and he's like running throughout time. It's symbolic and shit. Okay, so there was that, and then, of course, at the end, when they got away from the Daleks and everything, or they got away from the girl because she's training into Daleks. One thing I want to say about Daleks, have you ever noticed how the freaking Daleks have stormtrooper aim? Like, seriously, they're pew, 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 pew. Like, they're freaking like stormtroopers. They don't know how to shoot lasers at all. Another thing about Daleks, am I the only one that ever feels like I wish there was a season without Daleks? Like, let them go. Shut up, phone! I wish there was a season without Daleks because, you know, they're the most iconic. They're like the Joker to Batman for the Doctor, the Daleks are. And I kind of want them just to go away for a season or two, and then when they come back, you're like, oh! But we always run into them. Like, I'd rather just go away for a little bit and then come back. Back to my main point, the second favorite thing I liked was after Bill and the Doctor went through all of the dramatic stuff, he got back to her office and he had to wipe her brain, and she was like, no, no, no. She was like, I'm not stupid. I know what a brain wipe looks like. Although, how do you know what a brain wipe looks like? You're just going off sci-fi. Like, what if he was all like, brain wipe? Like, would you expect that to be a brain wipe? No, everybody thinks it's like you gotta touch the freaking mind and make it go away. But you know what I'm just saying? How does she know? She's just thinking she knows. That led to her saying, like, you know what? Go ahead and do it. But just think about how this would be if somebody did it to you. And he's all like, he stops because they play the freaking Clara music. And I was all like, no, Clara, I love you! Oh, Doctor Who had to hit me in the feels by playing the damn Clara music. And I was like, oh, this is why you're my favorite show, because sometimes I don't want to feel, and you make me feel, Doctor Who. You make me feel so good. And I know some people out there are not a fan of Clara. And you know what? A lot of people didn't like Clara's ending on the companion thing. But you know what? I'm going to throw this out there. Freaking Clara might have had the greatest companion farewell of all time. I said it! I said it! And if you want to know why I think that, let me know in the comment section down below, because I have a whole video ranking and seeing of who the best companion farewells are, but it's separate from the best and the saddest. Those are two different things. Two different things. The best and the saddest. Different categories, and I could break them down for you if you want that in another video, but not in this video because that'll make it go super long. Woo! Yes, that is freaking Doctor Who, man. I love this. I love this freaking show, and I'm telling you, it's just a show I can watch over and over. So glad it is back on TV because I just absolutely love time and space. Like, it's just, why wouldn't you love those kind of things? Like, oh, I don't know. And the characters are so good, and I can't wait for the rest of this season and to see what's going on. I mentioned there possibly being a new Doctor and possibly being a female Doctor. I'll link those two videos in the description down below because there's a lot of theories out there. Well, it's actually, I'm just gonna link to a Nerdist video because they actually talk about the female Doctor that could be coming onto the show, and they also mentioned the possible other Doctor that's gonna be on there. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe Emergency Awesome talked about it. Somebody talked about it, and I watched their videos. I'm like, these are really interesting videos. I'll link to those in the description down below so you guys can go watch that, because it might make the show really interesting. But I'm kind of hoping it's the female Doctor, because the female Doctor is also black, meaning they're going to break down some walls, and that just opens up the door for a freaking brown Doctor. Yeah, I want to see a brown Doctor. But it'd also be kind of cool if it was me, if I ever acted, but I don't act. I'm weird. Anyways, guys, let me know what you thought about this whole episode and what you think about Doctor Who in the comment sections down below. Guys and gals, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with all your Doctor Who buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had my daily dose of juice? See you guys next time. Bye!